Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am back with another DIY room decor video. You guys have loved the ones that I've done in the past. I think I've done 2 before, so I'll link them down in the description in case you want to see those. But today, I'm back with a brand new one. I had so much fun while I was filming this video, and Kane actually helped me out while I was filming this video. And in every single break that we took, like paint drying breaks and snack breaks, we would play the game Best Fiends. A big thank you though to Best Fiends for sponsoring this video. If you haven't heard of it before, it's a puzzle battle game with a bunch of different characters, and you build a team to defeat the slugs. There's so many levels and side quests that you can go on, so every single time we took one of those breaks, I would whip out my phone and try and get past Kane's level. He's currently on level 52 and I'm on level 41, so I'm trying to get past him, but he's out today and I'm home, so I'm gonna play it and get past him. But if you play the game too, make sure to share your scores with me. I'd love to know if you're better than me and Kane. If you haven't downloaded the app before though, I'll leave a link in the description bar where you can click on it and download the app for free, and then try your very hardest to get past Kane and I. But without further ado, hopefully you guys do enjoy this video, and let's get into it. So this first DIY is the DIY paint chip calendar. It's super easy, so all you're going to need is a corkboard. This is $2.80 from Decor. You also need some paint chips, so you can just go to the hardware store and just like pick some up for free. And then you need some paint. I've used white paint and some thumbtacks. So the first step is just to get your paint in a bowl and start painting the corkboard. Now this will probably take a couple of coats just because the corkboard will soak up the paint, so like some bits will look a lot darker in white than others, depending on what color you're using, of course. So I ended up doing like 3 coats, so it took ages to dry, but it's totally worth it. So while you're waiting for all that paint to dry, you can go ahead and cut up your paint chips. You don't have to do this obviously if you actually get these singular paint chips, but I didn't. I got paint strips, so I had to cut them all up and then round the edges. But once you're done, you can go ahead and lay them all out on your corkboard, which is super easy. I decided to do it in a like gradient effect. And then after that, you want to have the days and months. You can obviously handwrite these, but if you're anything like me, you'll probably want to print them out because I have super messy handwriting. So I just printed them out and then backed them up on some cardboard just to make them look a little bit prettier. So I just took some colored card and then stuck them on with some glue. The last step is just to take the thumbtacks and start sticking them into the paint chips, and then you're pretty much done. You can actually go ahead and write the dates onto the paint chips. However, this is kind of optional because if you don't want to do that, you can actually save the unused paint chips till next month, so then you don't have to go back to the hardware store and like take more. Alright, so if you've got Pinterest, you've probably seen this DIY before. It is marble colourful bowls, and all you're going to need is some colourful clay and some Sharpies. So taking that clay, all you want to do is start cutting it up into chunks. I actually cut this up into chunks that were bigger than what I initially needed. So if you want to like save on clay, you can actually use smaller chunks than this, but I don't know, I just went like overboard. So I used 4 colours, and once I had them all lined up in little chunks, I started to roll them out into like really thin like snake-like strips. So once you've done that and you've got all 4 colours, you just want to go ahead and twist them all up and then just like keep twisting them. Once you've twisted it maybe like 4 or 5 times, you can go ahead and then just like fold it on top of each other and then try and get it into like a little bowl, and then you're good to go ahead and start rolling it out with a rolling pin. So a quick tip is that the more you roll it into each other, the more it's going to look more marblish. However, I didn't want it to look like too marblish. I didn't want all the colors to seep into each other. And also, if you don't have a rolling pin, you can just use a can of like chickpeas or something like that. And taking a small bowl or a cup, you just want to go ahead, put it on top of the clay and then carve around it with a knife. I then put it into the bowl to bake in the oven, so then I had like a little jewelry holder. But if you want to have like coasters or something like that, you can just leave them flat and put them straight in the oven. So I ended up putting these in the oven for about 15 minutes. And then the last step is also kind of optional, but taking a Sharpie, I decided to like rim it around the top of it because it kind of gives it like this metallic effect that makes it look like way more expensive, like you actually bought it from the store. Now onto a DIY that is so appropriate for me at the moment because I actually have a cold. I'm not sure if you can tell. I'm gonna make this cool little tissue holder. So all you need is some craft paper, some paint, you also need a glass jar, some tissues, and you need a paintbrush. So when you're choosing your jar, you just need to make sure that you choose one that's got like the removable plate in the top of it. And also when you're choosing your tissues, I decided to just go with like a smaller pack of like to-go tissues because I felt like they would fit into my jar a lot easier. So to start off with, you just want to start painting the jar. Now you probably could use like special commercial glass paint, but I didn't want to do that, so I just painted the jar like 3 times and sat it on the windowsill to dry. So taking your piece of craft paper and the plate from the top of the jar, you just want to cut around the outside of it so you have a circle. And once you've got that circle piece of craft paper, you just want to take it and put it back into the top of the lid and secure it onto the jar. Once you've got the lid on the jar, you just want to be really careful and create 2 slits in the top of that piece of paper. Now you want to make these big enough that you can actually get the tissue through the holes, so just keep that in mind. But once you've done that, you can go ahead and put the tissues into the jar and then just like thread one of the tissues through that hole and you're pretty much good to go. I also decided to go in with the Sharpies and just like make some cool little designs on the outside. So this DIY is super easy and I think it's a really cool way to turn something that you use really frequently into like a cool room decor, and it's also like super functional. So that is it for this video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it, and if you want to see more DIY videos, make sure to let me know down in the comments below because they're my favorite videos to film. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you did like the video, but until next time, I hope you guys have a really good day and I'll see you later. Bye!